I've been married for over 25 years now, and when I talk about my wedding, I get two reactions. The first is either, oh my gosh, I remember that, it was so much fun, or please tell me more, because they're so excited when they hear about it. So today I'm going to share with you the secret to having an amazing event. So first, you need to have an awesome idea. Really, that's what matters on that. You have to have a really good idea that people are going to fall in love with. Second, plan. Now, I can't stress this one enough. You have to have every little detail so that it works with your theme and everything that you have going on. Next, you're going to execute it. Really, that's what it comes down to. Putting all the pieces together, and hopefully it all works out the way that you planned it. And last, you want to enjoy, have fun, enjoy everything that you did, and just have a good time. So now I'm going to share with you some of the things that we actually did for my wedding that made it so memorable even 25 years later. So when I was a senior in high school, my mom took me for the end of the year for graduation on a trip. And my mom and my younger sister and I went to New York City. And then we went to upstate New York to visit a friend. And we went to this Renaissance festival. And I have always loved that time period. And so when I was there, so here's some of the pictures. We had so much fun, and I fell in love with it, and I was like, this would be the coolest thing to do for a wedding. So when my husband proposed to me, I kind of brought it up and said, hey, I have this idea, and this is what I'd really like to do for our wedding. And so I wanted to have a Renaissance themed wedding, and thankfully he was good and went with it with me, and so that is how it all came about.
So one of the things that's really important is to make sure your locations all fit in. So I actually did my bridals at this fun manor castle place, and I was actually able to keep that theme. I even got a picture with a knight, kind of fun. My dress I actually had custom made. I designed it, and my friend Carol made it, and my mom did all of the beadwork on the dress. So this again allowed me to keep with that same Renaissance theme throughout all of the planning and execution of the event.
This is our wedding announcement. So you can see that we followed that Renaissance theme. I know it looks a little Cinderella-y, but still, you've got your castle and your carriage. We used the Maid Candice and Sir Mark, and even when you open it up, it's the Lord Devereux Bywater and his Lady Jenny. So it's all written not only in that Renaissance font, but in the same style of writing, as well as our newspaper article, the Hear Ye, Lord Devereux Bywater and his Lady Jenny from the Shire of Hiram. So we kept that same theme going throughout everything, and that's really important when you're doing something like this, is you really want to pay attention to the details and the theme and keep everything in line.
So we actually got married in the temple. So again, it kind of followed that whole theme. This was our castle. And the thing I love about this picture is it follows that theme, the whole knight kissing the maiden's hand. So it's kind of a fun picture. We left in a carriage, a horse-drawn carriage that was a friend of my mom's. We actually had it outside of our reception as well, again following that whole theme. This is our friend Linda. She helped us do all these decorations. We decorated like the Great Hall of a castle with all these flags and stuff, and Carol helped do my dress. This is King Richard and Queen Jane. We did a ring ceremony, so this is the procession. So even though we got married in the temple, I still wanted to do the whole walk down the aisle thing. This is me and my dad and everybody walking down the aisle. So it was kind of fun because we had the different kings of the realms. This is the actual ring ceremony. This backdrop that we used was actually something that my sister and I painted to make it look like the halls of a castle. So this is our wedding breakfast. It was actually a fun feast that we had, and we ate everything with our hands. We had bowls that were had soup in them, these big bread bowls, and it was just super fun. We invited everybody. My friends dressed up as wenches, and they did all the serving and everything. So these are my friends from college and local. We even had a friend, this is Jared, he dressed up like a juggler. And again, everybody was just awesome. They all dressed up in costume and were good. We had a fun chair, and just everybody got into it. We even had people who came as guests that got into it. This part I love. They did some little sword fighting. And we got some fun pictures with the groomsmen doing the sword fighting. And, we just kept doing everything we could. You can see all the smiles. Everybody was just having a great time, enjoying everything that was going on. Even knighted my husband. This is my best friend and her husband, Summer and Corey, who were in our wedding line. And, again, just having a good old time. Have friend dressing up, trumpets, and reading stories, and we've got Robin Hoods, and just really enjoyable. One thing I loved is we had a group called the Society of Creative Anachronism. This is some of them there. They came and taught us dances, and so we had entertainment, and we did dancing, and it was just so much fun doing these fun little dances and stuff. So they actually taught us lots of different steps and dances, and it was just awesome. And they were up on the stage dancing, so we had all this fun entertainment for the guests. So everybody just had like a really great time. Everybody came and stayed. We had sword fighting. So we actually had some of the knights up on stage doing sword fighting in full armor. So it was a big old party. Everybody came and they stayed and just got to enjoy the entertainment, which made it a little bit different than a normal wedding because you just had a lot going on. This was our cake, again, following the same theme. We had a castle up on the top. Actually still have that castle as well as the knight. This is fun. We actually had a regular knife, and then one of the knights came up and he said, "That's not a knife, this is a knife." He gave us a big old dagger to cut the cake with, so that made it kind of fun. He kind of tried to stop him when we were doing the bouquet toss. He actually fought my husband when we went to leave and tried to capture me. And he picked up a chair and fought him off. So my husband doesn't ride a horse, but he does ride a motorcycle. So we left the wedding in my wedding dress on the motorcycle, and that's kind of how we ended our event. This is us 25 years later, my husband and 5 kids and my daughter-in-law. It's been a great 25 years, and I hope you enjoyed learning how to make an event to remember that will be talked about for years to come.